You feel cheated if they still won the gold?
No, not. I mean.
So it all depends on if they win the gold or not.
I see the best players out there.
Okay, so what if let's back up a couple years. Let's back up to what 2004-ish era. Let's back up to when you had Dwayne Wade coming out the league. You had LeBron James coming out the league. You had Carmelo coming out the league. Now that is our U.S. Olympic team now. So what if?
I feel like they've earned that right now. They've earned that.
So they should earn that spot.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't think a college player earns that right. They ain't did nothing yet.
But do you not have a collegiate coach coaching the Olympics?
I think it should be a pro coach as well.
But you know what? Let me get on this coach. Nobody is pulling Coach K. Coach K was sought out by every NBA. If an NBA team right now, if the Lakers could get Coach K, which they tried in 2004,
and Coach K's not budging.
Because when Shaq left, remember that was when Phil first said he wasn't coming back. And then he ended up coming back, but when Phil said, I don't think I'm going to come back, they went after Coach K. I was there when Coach K came down. Coach K came down and he interviewed, not interviewed, but he met with the Lakers. And honestly, no one can afford Coach K. Between what he makes at the college, between his endorsements, between any other... No one else can afford Coach K. So Coach K is the perfect coach because if you didn't have Coach K, you would have to have Phil Jackson. I mean, if you want the best of the best. So.
Because nobody will respect anybody else. Like you can't have Mike D'Antoni coach the USA team.
No, you can't.
Well, really mean this.
Van Gundy can't coach him either, so.
Well, should collegiate athletes
coach USA basketball?
So I mean, I get that, but you know what? That brings up another item there because the players aren't getting paid, but you better bet Coach K getting paid. I'm not 100% sure, and don't quote me, but I think Coach K getting paid. That's just my thought.
Well, let me ask you this. While we're on the phone of
what?
Go ahead.
No, that's probably something that has to address with the players union, right?
Well, no. When it comes to the USA, the Olympic team, the NBA is not involved in that. See, it's a totally different ball game there. That's why it's being an uproar with should the players get paid, shouldn't they? Then it turned into the players want to be paid and they should just feel the, patriotic duty and the love of their country and not be paid. But then the question begs to differ, what happens with all that money then? Because you don't see at the end of the Olympic Games them saying, this year we donated X amount of money to such and such foundation or some charity. Where is that money going? Where's the television money going? Where's the jersey money going? Where's the little statues and bobbleheads? And where's all of that money going?
To the league and to the owners.
Crazy. And that should not be the case. The NBA should not be involved in the Olympic money whatsoever. Looks like our caller just dropped. He must have a bad connection there in Milwaukee. But let's pose that question, everybody. Somebody next week, if you can find the answer to that, give me a call. Let me know if you know. 805-727-7099. Go ahead, send me a message on Facebook, send me a message on Twitter, and let me know if you know where all that money that we make during the Olympics, where that's going. Because it's clear our players aren't being paid. We've had a caller say that he thinks that collegiate players should not be involved. So it's like, but I think he already went ahead and kind of verified the thought that I had, that, the reason that it is NBA players is because, I mean, I guess not only as the USA, but people have this drive and this need to win. And how can we win if we don't put our best players out there? And if you do put a player out there that winds up sucking in the league that next season, will you feel robbed as, a watcher, as a member of USA? Will you be like, man, if we'd have put Dwayne out there, we wouldn't have this problem. If LeBron or Kobe or, if anybody else was out there, we could have won. But because we're trying to go ahead and give these collegiate players time and give them, experience, that's what caused us to lose. So, we're going to go ahead and look further into this because I am very interested in knowing where that money is going. But my co-host here also brought up a topic about, players that, they get their money, and whether they play for the love of the game or if they just play to get paid. And with all due respect, I do not mean this in any disrespectful way, because I don't know personally what's going on in his life or what's going on, and I do respect him as a player. But Lamar Odom has exited from the Dallas Mavericks and has decided that he can not play for Dallas due to whatever his reason is, and he's back at his home in LA while the Mavericks continue to play out this season. He's sitting at home still getting paid. That is a big, to me, from a player standpoint, that's a big problem in the NBA. From a watcher standpoint, from a fan standpoint, heck, from an owner standpoint, that is a big problem in the NBA. From a player standpoint and from an agent standpoint, it's awesome. As Grant Hill, you can sit on the bench for a long time and get paid. It's just not like that in other leagues. The NFL, it cuts you, you be gone. Peyton was lucky that, just because of his presence and the love they had for him, that he still got paid, last season. But if you're injured, if you, have the type of problems that Lamar is having, if he was in the NFL, he'd be cut. He'd be sitting at home trying to, work his clothing line or whatever else he has to make some money. But right now, he's pretty much on a paid vacation for the rest of the season. And the only thing he really has to worry about is if he will get picked up again at the end of this season, if another team is going to pick him up, because I guarantee you, Mark is hot. Mark Cuban is hot, and he's not gonna keep Lamar for another season. So, where's Lamar gonna go? Is he gonna get picked up? Are people gonna be tired of his attitude? It's a lot of things going on. So let's figure that out. I have I got a message here on Facebook. I posed the question, should the U.S. basketball team be paid? And they said not if they're pro players. So there are some people that think, pro players should not be paid. And there are some people that, obviously, the caller we had from Milwaukee was saying that the players should be paid. So, and he was, that same Ryan Daly on Facebook is also saying that they should not use college players. It should just be NBA players all day. So, I guess they're doing something right by, using NBA players. But it's still a mix as to whether or not people think they should go ahead and be paid. But, back to what I was saying with Lamar Odom. Where is he going to end up next season? Is he still going to play next season? Is anybody going to pick him up? What do you think?
You know, I think I'm a fan of Lamar. You know, and I think Lamar needs to have a come to Jesus talk with himself. I mean, seriously. I mean, because I understand that he was going through some things in the off season, but at the same time, when you can't necessarily let that distract you from the game. You know, you have a career. You got something that you're doing that you love, that you're profiting from. And that, I mean, that's life. What he's going through, that's life. You know, somehow, some way, you gotta. Once you step onto the court, whatever goes on outside the court, you gotta let it go. You gotta leave it at the door. You know, and I'm not saying he didn't do that. He didn't try. I don't know. I wasn't there. You know, but at the same time, you still need to reevaluate yourself and reevaluate what's most important. And I think he did that too late. You know, which is why he stepped away from the game. I think he did that a little too late. I think he was kind of hoping everything would work out. Was kind of trying to play it that way, and it didn't. So I think at the last minute he kind of he kind of stepped aside and said, "Hey, this is not going to work. I'm going to have to part ways." So I mean, hopefully he'll find a team next year. Who or what? There's no telling. I mean, when Lamar is his best, he's a very, very good sixth man. Lamar is a very good player. But right now he needs to have a come Jesus talk, and he needs to figure out what he's going to do, what he needs to do, and how he's going to get his head on. That's, I think, in my opinion, that's his biggest problem.
Yeah, you kind of seen the beginning of the season. You saw him fall off a little bit.
90 seconds.
Then the middle of the season, he stepped up. He came back. And then he started to waver a bit. They thought about putting him on the D-League team. They decided not to. And all of a sudden it's like, I don't think I'm a good fit. I think we should kind of call it a day. So,
real quick, we have Paul from Jacksonville, Florida. He says foreign players are pro in nature and get paid. American athletes that participate in Olympics should get paid. So there we go. Some people think the athletes, professional athletes should get paid. Some people think they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's a big thing. And like they said, the foreign players are being paid, and they are professional athletes. So it's a big thing. Go ahead. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter. We will be back Sunday, same time, same station. You may catch a YouTube video midweek if something comes to mind that I need to talk about. But we will look forward to talking to you next week when our topic will pick up from here. And I will post the topic of the next week on YouTube. So make sure you catch us up. And I'm Tiffany.
I'm Matt.
And this is Real Women Love Sports. We're out.